Right guys, this is the second of the 3 cards that we're going to make. And our 3 cards with 1 punch. We're going to make a little card that looks a bit like this one. Right, so the first thing that you're going to need to do is get your cardstock ready. So I have a piece of Whisper White, which is 3 inches by 4 3/4. My card base, which I'm using Strawberry Slush for, and that measures at 3.5 inches across by 8 1/4. And then you're just going to fold it in half. With 2 strips, I've got a Strawberry Slush strip, which measures 3/4 of an inch by 2 3/4. And then I've got a smaller strip in Crisp Cantaloupe, which measures 1/2 inch by 2 1/2. Pop those there. You'll also need a piece of your white cardstock for when I'm going to punch like a little window out in the card here. So just rather than using the bit that you're going to punch out, I find it easier to punch it onto another piece to pop underneath. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do, again, we're going to use the 6-sided sampler stamp set. Get my acrylic block. Now I have ordered yesterday the little, I can't think what it's called. I want to call it a stamper majig. I don't know if I can't think what it is. The level that you use to make sure that you're positioning your stamps perfectly every time. I'm thinking that that's going to make doing cards like this a lot easier, so I will be sure to do a little bit of something once it comes to show you. Still have a little bit of ink left on that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do then is ink up our card. I'm going to use this one for a bit of a... I'm going to use the Strawberry Slush. Actually no, I'm going to use Crisp Cantaloupe. Just changed my mind. Okay, so I'll add a bit of ink on there. I'm just going to start in this top corner. I'm actually going to stamp the whole thing, and I will take it out when I come to punch my window. No, that's not going to be very level. Yeah, I think it will be much easier when I get the little tool that's going to help me line this up properly, so I've got the same gap between each one. If you already have the tool, then fantastic, you'll be able to do a much better job of this than I'm doing. I will of course have a whole list at the bottom of all of the stamps and different cardstock and different ink colours that I've used. Linked at the bottom, so if you want to have a look at them, they'll all be there. Right, okay, so that's that all linked up now. I'm going to pop that away, and before I do the next bit, I'm going to decide where I want. I think I want this one here missing, so I'm just going to punch out. I'll pop that to one side because I will probably use that on another project at some point. Okay, now I'm going to get my spare bit of white, and I'm going to get this little one here. It's just got like the dotted outline. And this time I'm going to stamp that with the Strawberry Slush. I've used the hello in that one. This time I think though I'm going to use the little stamp from that set that says my friend. I'm going to turn it because that's the way I'm going to be punching it out. And my stamp blocks need a bit of a clean. That's red. Oh, it doesn't want to stick. Okay, I think that's stuck this time. There we go. Just put that away because I have it dipping everything into the ink otherwise. Right, so we're going to punch out this one. Now we can start to layer up our card. Press around a little bit so I'm not putting it down the messy parts. Okay, so that's going to go in the middle like so. I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow on the back of the one we've just cut out. Okay. That's going to sit just there. Now we're going to get some of our dimensionals. I don't know if you can hear that, the trains are particularly noisy at the minute. They're doing some work on the line, so they're having to slow right down right outside the house. I've got a train line that runs all the way alongside where I am. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces of cardstock down. Now what we're going to do is make the little banner to go across the bottom. So you're going to get your little bits of cardstock, and we're going to use the punch again. And we're just going to line it up on the bottom. I've got very steady hands today. And just snip off that corner. I'm not quite got it level this side, so I'm just going to go in and tidy that up a bit. Okay, and we'll do the same for this one. You see how do we just line it up? So it just takes that V. I'll perform in camera shot, there we go. So we're going to line it just to snip off the V. And they're going to sit like so. Now, it's had a bit more detail to it. I'm going to use one of the elements. These are the Q clips. These are currently, I think, in the clearance. But they do have other of these clips, different styles, current in the magazine, in the catalogue, so I will link a couple of those. I'm going to want to go this way. Try to figure out how I did. There we go. So that's going to sit about there. I'm going to pop a bit of Tombow on the back, put a bit on the metal. Now we're going to stick that. Now it doesn't matter if a tiny bit of the glue appears over the top because this does dry clear, so that's fine. Okay, that's why I want that. I'm just going to hold that for a second and pop some the dimensionals on the back. Oops. 1, 2, we'll have underneath just down there. And that's it. So that's the second of our 3 cards that we're going to make using just 1 punch. I'm going to get the bits ready and I'll be back with the third one.